There's just so much to do. And I want to cover all of it. But you got to focus on one thing, Charlie. Stop being a squirrel and focus. Just accomplish something and then move on to the next something. Okay? So let's just do that. You're going to go... I already know what the private lab is. So we're going to go all the way to the stranded convoy with you. Over there. We're going to skip by the private lab. We don't need the private lab. In case you're not familiar with it, the private lab is basically just a place for us to buy science. We just get research from that. Okay, did that. What else could we do? Well, I increased how much titanium we're producing. We got a good amount of plates. We could do another contract, but let's maybe figure out the modular terminal situation. That's one thing we could do too. And I think we don't really have enough titanium output to be caring about 2 of these machines running. So I think as soon as this produces, I'm going to shut this one down and just let one components factory go for now. I think that's pretty fair. We don't really have the titanium necessary for this to matter, right? So as soon as it's done, which it basically just finished, right? Yeah, so whatever. It's just going to keep running, so it's fine. Actually, if it's just going to keep running, maybe that's okay. What's the average efficiency of it? It certainly looks like it's 40, 39, 36%. Yeah, so like let's just shut down one. It's okay. Okay. Modular terminals is what I was looking at, right? Maybe we'll move on to that. We have the CPU now to do this, so let's look at that. So for modular terminals, I'm thinking we set up the production here. I could route the components this way, but we need to increase components production to really have a meaningful impact on that. So we're only going to start with one machine for now. And then not only that, but we're one machine, and then I'm going to make sure that we always have at least 60 in the storage. So yeah, I think that's probably good. Okay, so if I'm moving this, where am I moving it to? I have enough CPU now to really lay out this this area here to know how much is there. So if I go like this, let's say that is the end, all right? And then if that's the end, then this would be in place, and this would be... That's essentially the 8 microcircuits factories we're going to have. We could potentially do another one here, but if we did this, I could set the storage for the microcircuits right here, and it wouldn't be in the way of anything. It would just be right here, and then I could have it flow this direction in between these 2 outputs, go underneath. With a level 2 underground belt, I think I could get all the way past these, but these are temporary anyway. As soon as this deposit's gone, and I think this is like the original deposit, isn't it? Yeah, that's the original silicon deposit. So it's only 27,000 units left. When that's done, these machines go away. And so setting up more long-term, I think the belt is going to take them right alongside this and then push them that way. So let's plan on that. So if that's the case, then I would want instead to have my storage be like right here. I can move it closer to the one machine. Yeah. That'd be even more compact and ready. So I could put that there instead, right? And then it comes off of these belts this direction into this storage and then out this way. And then from there, we could have it wrap maybe. I just don't want it to be in the way of these outputs, but I mean, it's going to have to be in the way of something. So we could say it goes this way and then under the belt. I'd rather it go under once. So if this belt ends, this is all stored. Yeah, if this belt is going to end here, right? If that belt's ending there, and we're going to have another one that's already here, this is going to go that way anyway. So this output's probably not used. We can use this one. So it won't matter if I block that one. So if I bring this over like so, I don't want to get in the way of where that's going to be, but it would be about here, I guess. Yep. From here, I could go under, and I can come out this side. Yeah, I can do that. It costs extra, but I can do that, and that keeps it out of the way. And then I think I'm okay with that. It's very expensive, but I'm all right with that. So we would lay that in. That ends up making it a Mark II, I think. Maybe not. I thought the It says tier 1, so I don't think that's the case, but free up space and capacity under modules, yeah. This would then go this direction. We'll keep the space in case we want to lay power poles through there or another belt. And now we have the microcircuits over in this area where we can process modular terminals. So I think that's going to work out well. And we can even have another buffer for modular terminals, but I don't know if that's necessary. I like this idea. I think that I'm going to run with this idea. We're going to have modular terminals over here. So if that's the case, then we'll take the modular terminals. Real quick check, though. Do we use modular terminals for anything else? The assembler doesn't use them. The high-tech factory will use them for this, but that's very far down the line. And duralumin's probably not going to be consumed over there anyway. So microprocessors would have to be brought over to this side. And CPU, like control units, would probably end up being produced like right over in this area, I guess. Because the microprocessors are going to be over here. And the modular terminals here. And then I guess the duralumin's probably going to be over in this side. I think I need the assembler to make that. Rare earth and aluminum. Ooh, it's aluminum. Isn't there another... There's another way to make this, though, isn't there? We were talking about this earlier. You can just make it straight from the silicon oxide. I think that's in the high-tech, yeah. You can just make it straight from the oxide. It's pretty expensive, though, isn't it? 16 of each. As opposed to not 16 of each. 4 aluminum and 1 rare earth element. I feel like it's definitely better to make this in the assembler. So the assemblers would be in here. So effectively, we'd have to make some plate, and we can send them on the same belt too. These two, they're going to be low volume, so we can send them on the same belt. And then we'll use the smart splitter to split their source so they go in the right ports. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. And then that belt could actually come right through here, I suppose. It could, yeah. It can come right through here. So I could take this, pull this back. Let's do like that. Yeah. This song is so loud. I think there's a way to govern the sounds you hear, the songs you hear. I don't remember where that is. I think it's this button right here. Yeah. I don't know if you can actually... I wish you could... like, there's a lot of songs. I can't play all of these because I'm in streamer mode. So, like, less than half the songs that are available actually play during this series. But I wish there was a thumbs down button so I could say I don't want that song. Because that song right there would definitely be one I would push because it's so loud. But anyway, this belt is going to end up running, I think, through here. If it doesn't, then it'll run alongside it. Anyway, we're just going to leave this gap for power routing and stuff later on. That's going to be better. So that's what we'll do. Let's have... We have all of this stuff kind of marked in. So let's get rid of this. All of this. We're going to leave the storage right there. We already know where we're going to route this. So we can just take that away. We've got the plans in place. And we want to go ahead and make that storage happen. And we're going to switch to having micro circuits be there instead. And that also gives it much easier access to the elevator too. So I guess that's a win-win for me. I just have to rearrange kind of my general idea of where my microprocessors are going to be. I'll probably do duralumin on this side now and microprocessors on this side now. And then all of the carbon fiber will be back here anyway. So, and then I think there's enough room for enough. Yeah, I think I'll have probably about 20 of the large farms to produce enough organic material for about 10 carbon fiber factories. I think it's 2-to-1, right? The farms? It may not be. Does it say? Can I look at that? It produces 50, but it doesn't tell me how long. So, well, 750 is the production cycle. This is variable though, because people will work on it. But 750 is the production cycle to make 50 organics. And then the carbon fiber factory is going to be a 40 cycle, but it uses 4 of them in a 40 cycle. Yeah, so I think that's a 2, maybe a 3-to-1 ratio. It sucked on a lot of water though, man. That's a lot of power and a lot of water and a lot of CPU. Just there's a lot of stuff happening with that particular production, but yeah. Okay, so now that we have a general idea where this is going to be, right? We can say that the belt comes out like this and goes like this, okay? So if the belt's doing that, then we kind of know that it's right there, right? So let's say the belt's doing that, and modular terminals then is going to be over here. So modular terminals factory, we're going to want to flip it this way. Let's have it be a little bit space. This isn't going to be here much longer anyway. This is, I think, the original. No, this is the original iron. Or is it this one? No, I'm pretty sure this is the original iron. This is an extra one, but it's, it's not going to be there forever though. Once the resources dry up. So we'll leave it a little bit of space though. Let's say maybe about here. We can go there with it. Okay, so modular terminals are produced here, and we can go that way with the machines. So with that being the case, we're going to want to take the components underground. Let's give it a little bit of space. I want to give room for another belt to run through here later. So we're going to go like that with it. And again, we want some space to run belts under through here. So let's say about like that. That should be enough space to run that extra belt that I want to run. And then this will go that direction. Okay. So from here, we need to figure out which one's hopping. I think the modular terminals or the modular, the circuits, the microcircuits can just run right through here. So we'll have the components be the hopper, I guess. Yes, but for now, I don't have to worry about it. If I was going to be the hopper, though, I would need to be... Actually, the circuits makes more sense to hop because this is coming in at an angle. Yeah, we're going to have the circuits hop then. Never mind. So this is going to go like that. Circuits will end up being the hopper. Okay, we'll build that. I'm actually thinking I might just go ahead and build this too. Yeah, I've kind of decided I'm going to do that anyway. So let's get you right here. And we'll go underneath from here. Like that. It's fine. Bring you all the way this way, just as we planned, into there. Okay, build all. And then we're going to want to make sure that after you're constructed, that we limit you to, like, say, always keep 80 in stock or something. Like, we want that to be a thing. These need to be redirected. Unfortunately, I don't see a way to change the direction of this belt. You can do so while it's under construction by hitting V, but I don't see a way to do that for belts that are already built. I would love the ability to do that, because then I wouldn't have to rebuild them, but I don't see a way to do that. If you know how to do that, leave it in the comments, because I mean, I'm not going to see it for several videos. I'm recording in advance. I have a family vacation coming up, so I'm probably 10 videos ahead of you when you're watching this, but well, maybe not anymore, but I was at the beginning of the series. I have I just posted number 3 today, so there you go. That's how far ahead I am here. But I gotta get ahead of my vacation. Let's say just destroy it now, I guess, because I don't know how to flip the direction here. So this one's gonna go that way into there. There we go. It is a shorter belt, so at least there's that. And then this whole entire supply is going to have to be torn down and brought over here. And then the modular terminals will be happening over here. So from there, this power pole, we're going to bring it. I don't think this will be in the way of anything on this side from here. I don't think that's in the way of anything. So we'll... This one maybe, because of the whole, like, wanting to route power through here, or... Well, I mean, that's the reason for this gap, is to route power through here, but I could route something else through here too. I'm leaving this gap open. I'm just using the space. I have space. Let's use the space. So I'm going to do this. I might regret it, but whatever. We're going to do it. That's going to provide power to this machine, and then we can have modular terminals being kicked out. Modular terminal machines are going to go this direction, or not. No, because they need to go this way into this area is where I wanted to make my CPU, right? Yeah, I was going to make CPU stuff over here. Let's maybe clear this out. Yeah, let's clear this out as well. Diggers, you can do this. My dig bots. There we go. Right through here. All my digging bots can just do this right here. Okay. And then we'll have terminals, I guess, stored like right here, I suppose, like really close by. And then they can be routed wherever we want later. So I'll just actually have that be prioritized for now. And then I can put the storage for modular terminals right here. Okay, with this done, I want to have... Basically, I want to say keep 60. I'm just going to try that. And then we can get rid of this. And then they'll bring all that supply over here, hopefully, at some point. Although they haven't really done that with everything else. Like, there's 512 rare earth stuff just sitting here on the ground. So they haven't really done that with anything else. But they've been busy, okay? They've been doing things that are more important. Speaking of which, I think it's time to shut these off. Because we can now. We have power under control temporarily. Let's go ahead and send this. Send that back up. Okay. So 99%. Right. I mean, I don't think we need it yet, but I'm going to drop one anyway because we can. There we go. I know I just said there's no reason we would ever need more, but we're adding machines. We will eventually need more. So let's just put it in there. It's fine. And then... Although it's CPU for now, isn't it? Like I'm using CPU now instead of later. I don't know. We're going to have large solar panels in a bit too. I'm kind of trying to not build... I don't want to build out infrastructure that I have to replace later. Which is what these medium solar panels are. The big batteries are not that. All right, is there anything else that I can do other than powering on those 4 machines? We're always going to have modules offline. You're always going to see that. If the fuel generators are offline, then that's always going to be there. Turn this back on. Because I've increased it now. You're full, so you can just make them. You know, you're going to be 100% efficient because you have the full supply right now. No reason to upgrade these, but there's also no reason right now to make more components factories until I've hit these buttons and I see that they're fully saturated. So we're going to keep that going. These could be improved. Maybe. Yeah, we could get more iron that way, but we're already really good on iron. We could sell the iron with contracts, you know, so I guess. I think we do need more silicon generation though. That part I'm going to say we do need. Because these things are, they're basically always running. Yeah. So I think this is something I can invest in. Is another smelter here. And, whoops, it's supposed to be the other way around, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, it is. Because that's where the pole is. So it's supposed to be like that. There we go. So we'll get 2 more of these. I'm pretty confident we can afford that. There we go. And then these are all level 1 already. That's why. So I'm going to get them in here and then we'll have even more like that. Yep. And then we want to connect them to power. It would be here and here. Yep. And then you would be on other 2 after that. Let's get silicon processing. As far as the concrete goes, almost done. No, 83 more days. That's a long time. Can I get people to work on the engineering place? You already are. But you're not engineers, are you? Are you engineers? Maybe. You're making 76. That's not too shabby. Fundamental science is having more of it, though. I think I'd rather you go here. Can I have this be a high priority job? Fill this, if you could. With your workday? That'd be nice. No? I just made it high priority and you guys left the station. Is that common for you to disregard high priorities? Is it? I mean, I guess maybe it's the end of the day. There we go. You have to like go eat or something, I guess. All right, there we go. That's double the output you had before. I'm loving it. So now we should be seeing like what, 40 days on this? 49 days, okay. 49 days. Ooh, you know what? You know what, though? The other 2 types of science are done here. And I'm greedy. I want the large panels now. Yeah, I want the large panels more than I want the the concrete.
The observatory is in an extremely dismal state. The main dome with analytical equipment is damaged, as are the L-shaped 4-kilometer interferometers. The entrance terminals and workspaces are also damaged, and the doors appear to be jammed.
Well, let's blow it to hell. No. We do it carefully. It's 20 days of time. But if we blow it up, I think we'll probably... like, we might damage something. I came all the way over here. 20 days is fine. I guess we'll try to open it carefully.
The drones have started the job. I'll let you know when there's more information.
Cool, thanks. Okay. So, still drilling. Still have everything. I think for concrete-wise, I can, without having the upgrades, I can just, you know, drop more of these. So, that is what I'm going to do for now. Because I can just do that. And this goes directly into storage, which is kind of neat. The one thing that is a problem here, not really, because it could just be on the belt anyway, right? Yeah. It'll just be on the belt anyway. It's cool. Okay, let's take this and go... yeah, right here. Yep. The silicon is what's hopping. So silicon hops. So we'll go like this. Are we going to have another one here? Yeah, probably. That pole will have to move. But since it's not doing anything anyway, we'll go ahead and just destroy it now. And we're going to have you go under. Yep, and then you are going like this, and then you will go under. Yep. Because we will eventually have more anyway. So there's those. There's those. Yep. And we'll go like that, and you can just go straight to the belt. That's fine. This is just a... I mean, I could get the resources back for this buffer, but I feel like, why? You know, like, whatever. It's fine. So let's just let that be. The slag can now empty out of these machines. I think they're probably getting pretty... yeah, there's like 1,000 slag. This one's actually full. So I think this one might have a problem with getting output, right? Like, it might have a problem running because of that slag. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to get rid of the slag faster. Well, that's what these are for. That's what we're doing here. And in fact, you know what? Why don't we actually go ahead and get even another one going? We're going to need it anyway. We're going to use it. So we'll get another one over here. There we go. And so for the slag, we'll go that way. And then this does the same thing it's always been doing. There we go. Good. We'll build that too. All right. Now, power hookups, because we're running really low on those. So I think I'm probably going to take this and let's put it... let's put that right here. And we can put another one right here. All right. So we'll connect you here. And then you're going to connect to this one. And then I'm going to start getting rid of some of these other connections, I think. I'm not sure that's necessary because we're going to have other machines here too, right? On the other side. So you can always hook up to those. This power pole will eventually have to move anyway. So I'm not going to bother connecting it at the moment. So we can actually just hook these up together, I guess. Okay. That's good. Let's take you like that and like that. And then, you know what? Let's just start getting these prioritized too. Why not? We have the resources to do it. Just do it. You have the components. Everything is built. Expand concrete production. And let's find a buyer for this concrete, yeah? And if we're going to find a buyer for the concrete, probably should bring it up top, which is what this is for. And so I just need the modular frames committed to that. I thought I had them. Didn't I have them? I could have swore I had them. Maybe I put them on a truck or something. It says I'm wasting science, but how? Blue? No, there's no way I'm wasting science. No way. Yeah, you're just false. Fake news. Oh, you know what just happened though? Right? Yeah, we have this upgrade. So, I mean, like all of my existing solar panels are better now.
Drones and resources have been delivered. It will take them a little time to get the place back in order.
It's okay. It's okay. We got time. That's the other contract we went to, right? That's the other place. So this is WAS 45H, right? We're going to try to do some stuff there. Repair that station, if you will. This cargo truck is available to do things, and I'm going to send it to here to give me the modular frames. Yeah, pick those up. So you are right here, this one. And we're going to have you fill and bring all those wonderful things back from Charlie 23 backup vault. Absolutely. That's where the modular frames are coming from. And then that will help me in building that. Then we can bring that up top. And when we bring it up top, I guess we're going to want storage. Makes sense. So for that, think about like long-term storage solutions. I'm thinking like we want to have a nice row of storages, a variety of different things that can be sent to the flight control center. And where is the flight control center going to be? That's another question. I'm kind of thinking over here is better. The other way to do it would be back here and then just having like long belts bringing it all the way over here. But I think right here would be okay. There's also inputs that we can do here. So the same inputs for the flight control center could be used to go to these as well. And then there's obviously the belted outputs, but we have to configure those. And those belted outputs would then come down to here. And then that is this. So whatever we're outputting is going to have to be routed from here, which is easy to do with underground belts. I've left room, but you just have to know what we're doing with it. Yeah. We still have the ability to build the repeater too, which is probably a good thing to build. I just don't want it to be in the way. I could put the repeater back behind the batteries. I think that's pretty, I think that's an okay idea. How far over can we build batteries? Oh yeah, that's great actually. Okay. We have all that space. So if I build the repeater back over here, that wouldn't be a huge deal. I don't think. It keeps it out of my way. That's what I'm thinking. I want to keep it out of the way. So maybe right back here. Let's go like that. We build it there. And then using this power pole, we want to run. I think we'll put the pole here. I'm not sure what this big solar panel. I'm pretty sure it's going to take up this extra space for each one. And then we can have the batteries. Let's see where the batteries land here too. Batteries are going to be like that. Okay, so if I put an extra row of batteries like this, then the power pole can be right up against these solar panels. Okay. Yeah, that's what we'll do then. So the power pillar to bring power to the repeater, we're going to put it right there and there. And then we come all the way out. I guess we'll go in a straight line just to keep it consistent, and then we'll hook it up there. So that's where our repeater will go. Way out of the way, okay? All those things that are flying in and landing and all that stuff, they don't have to worry about being next to the tall thing. I think I'm all right with that. That said, if I'm doing the flight control center here, I forgot how big it is, but I probably will put it right here. And we'll have a lot of storages right in this area that can go that way or that way with like different belt systems to kind of sort them. And then concrete would already be over here. So if I'm going to have concrete coming from this side, I probably want it to just run all the way straight over here, right? So like the landing pads wouldn't be here anymore. Which these were always temporary anyway. Once the flight control center is up, we probably only need like one or two of these at most, and we can put them like out of the way. Actually kind of thinking I'll want to take one of them away anyway. We don't need the CPU to be loaded for that. Nah, whatever. Until we get the flight control system, it doesn't matter. We can leave it up because we don't have an alternative anyway. Speaking of which, you know what? Let's get something to land there if we could. We're not going to get this bonus anyway. That was never going to happen. We were never going to get this bonus. That was never going to happen because it's been sitting here for a long time anyway. But I could bring this down and do it because Malachite's heavy engineering. Aurora project. Yep, could do that. That's 2 out of 4 available. So I can have up to 4 contracts at a time. Can I now? Interesting. I like this one. I like this one more, but man, 77 components. 11 days. In general, you want to have the resources available before you accept the contract, especially with things that have short timers for bonuses. Like, you're just not going to be able to produce it fast enough. This is a big one. I don't have these, but I could buy them. The composites. I have everything else. I just buy the composites and I get 174 grand. I kind of like this one. It's no bonus, but there's a lot of money involved. 5 composites, eh? Okay. Okay, let's make it work. Why is there already a cargo pod? Why does it already have storage in it? What's going on there? Yeah, there we go. So everything fits in one? Really? I think everything fits in there. Yeah. I love it when that happens. Just enough. So I need 5 composites. Let's see how much that costs. They're not cheap. They're actually quite expensive, but they used to be much more expensive. They were upwards of 8 grand a piece. Now they're down. So this is an opportune moment to buy them. You know what? I think we'll maybe take advantage of that and just go a little bit deeper. Why not? Let's go a little bit deeper. All right, take the microprocessors. Those are pretty expensive right now too. We'll buy a few more because I might need the CPU. Everything else, probably don't want to buy, but composites right now I think makes sense to buy a little extras. Microcircuits are actually way down. Microcircuits used to be 2,600 a piece. Now they're like half off. I know I'm making them myself, but if I don't have to, because they're like half off, might be able to sell them later for more. I'll get like, I'll get 20 more of those. Let's see. Why not? And let's see, what else can we do? I want to ideally fill this up so I can kind of spread that fixed cost over many things, but may not be necessary. I'll get one more robot. I'm good with getting one more. But now I'm spending a lot of money. Is that worth it? Yeah, I'm going to get 174,000 back, so I'm basically just getting this stuff for free. Well, not free. I mean, I am obviously fulfilling a contract, but I will have, you know, 20,000 more than this is costing me. And I'll have all this stuff. Maybe the microcircuits don't need to happen. Since I'm getting the robots anyway, I think the microcircuits don't need to happen. We're making our own there. We have microprocessors. They're quite cheap right now, though. That's the thing. Like, they're cheap right now. That's why I'm buying them. They used to be much more expensive. Oh, wait, no. Huh? Wait a minute. That's weird. It was showing me this graph for this. Go back in the video, you'll see it showed this. For the other thing. It was showing this graph for that. So I was like, wow, that's cheap. I should buy more. Nah. Okay, tell you what, I don't really like the idea of spending that much money on this. Let's get 3 more microprocessors for the sake of getting more CPU. We'll get 1 more robot for the logistics of it. And then 10 composites because supposedly their price is low. And then we can always, you know, incorporate them into another contract at some point later. Okay, we'll buy those. Fine, that's good. No power connection for this. Let's fix that. We want to go, yeah, like you here and you here. Okie dokie. Just waiting on that power pole to be done, and then we're in good shape. This one can start running, and the slag can start getting processed properly and hopefully not fill up. Yep, everything's getting full on slag, so we don't want that. There we go. Processing a lot faster now. Okay, this needs to be selected for that and that. There we go. And I don't know if I need to upgrade them yet, so let's just hold off. We might not need to. So we will see. Okay, you are the contract, and we've delivered most of what you want. And as far as aluminum goes, here's the rest of what you want. We'll put it there. Not sure what objective I achieved, but it said I achieved an objective. I like achieving objectives, but yeah, man, everything needs maintained so often. Like, even this is broken down. I need modular terminals just to bring the medical block back online, right? Which is what this is. So if I can get this built, then we're good. They'll make that happen, please. And then I'll have modular terminals, and then we can fix the medical block. And then obviously all the lights are off in here just because there's a pending construction attached to the building. It's really weird. They still do this. Everything has power. It just doesn't look like it does because there's a pending construction. That's it. So once this building is fully completed, all the lights come back on, and it's just how they do it. Okay, 17 days is what we have left for battery, which is more than enough, but you can see that we're not filling the battery anymore. That's an issue. Let's just drop this cargo over here. That's the modular terminals. Sorry, the modular frames. We'll have this conveyor elevator done when we're done here too. That's going to be good. Then we can start getting the concrete to go up top. Selling concrete then becomes a lot more viable. And I think I probably want to direct it over here. Now, that's another way to bring concrete over to another place if I wanted to. I can always have these things be like connected to each other. So if there's like, if it's really crowded through here and I'm thinking, man, like sending these resources to the other side is going to suck. Once I have everything routed to where it's like in a big storage system for delivery, I could always take a belt off of the storage units and bring them back into somewhere, you know, in one of these connectors. And that will just make that resource appear somewhere. So I could, you know, use the above ground area to transport goods for additional production later on if I wanted to. That is something I can do. Okay, we are now producing modular terminals. And that will, we don't have a storage for those just yet, but I think maybe, I can't imagine where we're going to have 512 of them, but hey, you know, you never know. We might get there. We might get to that level. It's possible. But I'm going to go ahead and pop storage right here as at least a temporary solution to having, you know, more than 16 at least in storage. So we'll have this happen and then modular terminals will be there. All right. Guys, I think I've done a pretty good amount of stuff today. We got a truck outside the base ready to be sent over to another adventure, hopefully picking up stuff. So I mean, I can have it go get food, but I don't really want it to do that. We could have it go to like the Evermoon Surveillance Center here. Yeah. People at the station refuse to let them in. We can find out what's inside. Ooh, we just need modular terminals for that, right? Now that we're making those, we can go ahead and see what the heck is up with those guys and why didn't they let them in? You need to breach the broken mechanism to find that out. So that's something we can do too. I also don't have any medicines right now, unfortunately, but I do have the modular frames, but I can also get into the transit station from ACIL as well. We made them a deal. We need to honor that. So, you know, get food, medical supplies, repair equipment, and stuff like that too. So lots of stuff to look at here, huh? Energy crisis contract on the surface there. Oh yeah. Come on back for the next one. Hopefully we won't be super dysfunctional. We're kind of getting things in order, and if I do see that I need more power, well, I can burn my fuel to do that. I can now do that. Thanks for watching. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.